Welcome back to Wise Words. Me and the boys are reunited again. Today we're going to be speaking about some foreign speaking films, some international movies, different language movies, all that kind of stuff. Anything that's not in English. That's what we're going to be speaking about today. We are no experts on this topic. We have watched a few. Each of us have watched different ones. There's a bit of overlap there between some of the ones we watched. Yeah. And then there's also a mix of ones we haven't watched as well. But yeah, don't be getting angry at us for not watching this movie or that movie. We are, as we said, not film experts. We're probably the three last people to have a film podcast of anything. Out of all the people I know, I was with the lads in Mexico and they were naming out film after film after film. And I was like watching ping pong, listening to them talk. I'm thinking I'm the guy with the fucking podcast.
But I give suggestions in the comments.
Absolutely. The more suggestions, the better.
The watch list.
Add to the watch list on Letterboxd, and we can knuckle down. And we're going to do an updated version of this now in maybe a couple of months or something like that. We'll add James into the mix, and So first of all, lads, what I want to start with is the first ever international movie you've ever seen, if you can remember. I know it's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I can go first.
If you want to go first,
so. Intouchable. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a French movie. Absolutely brilliant. It's got Brian. There's a English remake of it. I don't know. Have you heard of it? I don't even know what it's called. But it was by Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Okay.
So basically, it's about this guy who is disabled. He's paralyzed. He's super, super rich, but he becomes paralyzed in some sort of accident. I think it's based on a true story. And he is taking interviews for people to be his carer, his carer. You know exactly.
Yeah.
And so this black guy does the interview. He's a bit of a hood, he doesn't really give a fuck. He's doing it so he can get rejected, so he can then be given the dough. Basically,
right,
the way they have to sign up,
have
to prove that they're trying to look for jobs. But the guy, weirdly enough, he tries to sabotage his own interview just so he can get sent back home. Weirdly enough, the rich guy seems to like him, takes a liking to him, and then the whole movie is about their blossoming friendship between two of the most unlikely people, this rich, white, paralyzed man and this black hood guy. Mm-hmm. And, he just he comes out with suggestions that, his previous carers wouldn't have come out with, like, let's get you some prostitutes. I know your dick doesn't work, but let them rub your ears. And there's a great scene where the prostitutes are there rubbing and licking on his ears, and your man's loving it. And, the whole movie really shows this, I can't remember what his name, the black guy is, shows him bringing this paralyzed guy, out of his comfort zone, doing things that he hasn't done in years, doing things that nobody would even think to do with him, driving fast in cars. Rather than playing the classical music at his balls, he plays Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Just giving him life.
Giving him life,
exactly.
And I don't know if I should say the end of the movie really doesn't spoil anything. It's still worth the watch regardless. But basically he has this pen pal, this old rich guy that he talks to, but he's so embarrassed because he's never actually come out to her that he is paralyzed.
Okay.
And it's not until, let's just call him Patrice, the black guy. I don't think that's his name. It's not until Patrice basically rings her and forces him to talk to her that he actually talks to her on the phone for the first time and hears her voice and actually talks to her. End of the movie, basically, he leaves this guy in a restaurant after organizing him to setting up a date with him and his pen pal. And just as he leaves, she walks in. And I actually don't think he even told the paralyzed guy, that she was going to come in.
Wow, okay.
But so that's how the movie ends, kind of like a bit of a passing the torch. He's leaving and now he's passing the torch to this woman.
When did you watch that one, The Wager?
I watched it in French class when I was about 12.
That's what you're saying.
So that's why,
You watched that movie.
12 is a very young age. You watched a movie like that, I think.
Maybe it was later. Maybe it was 14. It was definitely in French class. It was in French class. And so that was my first ever taste of international movies.
Because we were saying before you came in, actually, like, my first movie I can remember that was like a foreign film was Parasite. That's only how many years ago? 6 years ago, isn't it? 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Because, as you said, like, we don't really have much, like, experience or, like, any chance to watch them when we were younger, because like in our house it's just English, American films. You watch Irish films, obviously.
We both did Spanish.
Yeah, we did Spanish.
We never got a chance to watch any Spanish movies. Not in class.
Really?
Just learning verbs, So not really a good cultural, experience. Just for that reason.
Look, lads, I mean, you're from Lanes, bro.
Yeah, honestly. But Parasite is my first one, I think, which is such a good introduction to foreign films. I think, you know what I mean.
And when was that?
The year it came out, so 2019.
2019.
So it was in cinemas and then came out of cinemas, and then it won the Oscar, didn't it? And then that's why,
okay,
I got the first introduction to it.
It's not a bad one.
It's a good one to start off on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else is there? Parasite, and then Oldboy too.
And
after I saw that, I watched Oldboy because the Korean, it's such like
it's something else. Like,
they're just different in the way they direct,
completely
isn't it? It's
different,
different storytelling compared to like English American films.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
And they don't hold back. It's like HBO.
No.
They don't hold back
They don't
whatsoever.
hold back.
Like,
Yeah. Is that the same director?
No.
No.
I was looking at it.
Old Boy does Memories of
Murder. I've written down. I haven't seen that one myself, but it's one out to my watch list. It's meant to be good. I saw Guiding Watch to give it 5 stars.
5 stars.
So he's a good benchmark for a good movie.
I think there's the same actors and
very similar. Yeah,
you'd imagine so.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like not that I know.
Just the big names of Korean acting, really. You know.
But Old Boy though, the twist in that.
That's a crazy one. I think that was actually my first one.
Yeah,
Old Boy, right?
Which was
I've never seen it.
That's a crazy introduction. Mine is pretty like there's some scenes of Parasite. You're like, God, this is fucked up. But Old Boy, the main twist. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
No.
Okay, we're not going to spoil it.
No, we can't spoil it.
But
Can't spoil that for
people at home. No. Well, James said it got ruined for him because Duloc Ryan spoiled it for him. He gave him the whole twist.
So it
will actually ruin the movie. It'll ruin the movie for you.
Okay.
But it's an amazing movie. Like I think go home tonight and watch Old Boy, and you'll text straight away and be like, bro,
really? Yeah.
You don't see it coming. Well,
no,
kind of, but the actual twist is fun. Like
right.
Well, if we give like the general premise is that say a man is locked in a room for how many? Was it 15 years?
More than 10 years, anyway.
Wow. Okay, that sounds interesting already. To be honest,
like just randomly one day he's let out with like he's like dressed up in like a nice suit and loads of money.
He's left on a rooftop and nobody knows why he's left there. He doesn't know himself. He's trying to figure out his life, and he kind of goes back, traces his roots, and he gets flashbacks of his life, and then he meets characters through the story, and it's
very
it all ties well together.
That sounds very good. Was that 2003 or something?
It was, it was early 2000s. Yeah, great movie though.
A lot of action in it as well.
A lot of action, yeah.
It's very, very violent,
emotional, funny. To be fair, violent, but it's a good mix of everything. You know. That's what the Koreans do well, though. They mix a lot of genres.
Yeah, they do actually.
You know what I mean?
Even Parasite.
Yeah,
like, that was such a mix of. A part of it could have been a Simpsons episode. Another part could have been CSI. Another part could have been some crime, horror story. It was a complete mix.
Yeah,
really, really good.
And Memories of a Murder. Have you seen that? Then
no,
I haven't seen that either.
No, okay.
We all watched that.
That's one for the updated episode. I think
it's if Guyton gave it a 5, I think that's a good indication of how good it's going to be. So
that could be better than the other two. Even.
Yeah, honest to God,
possibly.
So yeah, we've got through the Korean movies. I've watched Parasite. I really like Parasite. I will say I think it's slightly overrated.
Do you think?
Purely because, we see it rated as the top of the top. And we see it on that list of 100 movies from IMDb of the 21st century. Yeah. It was number 1.
It was
It was number 1. So that's the only reason I say, because like what you said, I feel like Parasite is most people's only dabble in foreign films.
Yeah, because it's my first, so I know they're like...
Yeah.
Like idea of what foreign films are like with Korean movies, for example. Yeah. Every country's different, obviously, but
I feel like most film buffs, whatever, not even buffs, but most people who have some sort of an interest and have watched just a foreign film, it's Parasite. So that's why I think they put it on a bit more of a pedestal than it deserves, because it's the only one they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I still loved it though. I think I gave it a 4.5 stars. It's just because it's not a 5-star for me, I guess, is the reason that I would say it's slightly overrated.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, you have to see it again. So it's kind of like you should
actually.
Really
great segue. I was on Letterboxd earlier on, and there's one movie I noticed that everybody I'm friends with has rated 5 stars, and it's your favorite, City of God, the Brazilian masterpiece.
Absolutely brilliant. Because I trying to pass over your iPad there for a second. I looked up just before we started recording. Can you go into Google? Sorry. Oh yeah,
there at the bottom. I think it opened.
So just before we started recording, I decided to look up IMDb's top rated foreign films and international movies, and let's just say I was not surprised at what was number 1.
You're the biggest fan, aren't you?
It's City of God, of course it is.
But everyone loves it.
City of God is the number 1 foreign film on IMDb. Second is a short film about love.
Never heard of it.
Don't know.
Battle Royale. Now, this is one I have not seen, Battle Royale, but I remember when Squid Game came out. People telling me that it's just after taking influence from Battle Royale, and I was like, look, I don't care if it's copying whatever.
Yeah,
Squid Game was unbelievable.
Exactly, it's inspiration though. It mightn't be copying necessarily.
Battle Royale. In a dystopian future, a group of students from a Japanese high school are forced by the government to compete in battle, killing one another until one is left standing.
Like Hunger Games.
And it came out in the year I was born. I think I'm going to have to watch it.
I think I've heard of that before, and somebody saying that you one who wrote the Hunger Games, and obviously the movies after it was based on that as well. It got ripped off. Okay, everyone thinks everything's ripped off, but it's just inspiration. Yeah, everything's inspired by something,
Yeah, absolutely. Wild Tales is number 4. Anyone?
No.
Run Lola Run.
No.
The Handmaiden. Ellie.
See, we're so out of touch, aren't we, with all these?
This is the thing. Yeah. Now, finally, though, Grave of the Fireflies. So this is an anime movie, a Japanese movie.
I've heard of that.
I watched that as well, maybe about a year ago.
Yeah.
Very sad film.
It's very sad.
You've seen it. You've seen it. Cool. Yeah, very sad. A lot of crying in it. It will probably touch the heartstrings. Anime crying can be a little bit hard to listen to, though. When it's too much. You know, it really can. And there's a couple of scenes where it's just that typical anime crying, and it's just like I'm nearly kind of blocking my ears.
Yeah.
But it's a shocking look at what happened during World War II and what happened to the Japanese. My Neighbor Totoro, number 9.
I have heard of that as well.
And Raise the Red Lantern. I'll leave it at that as a top 10.
But so we've seen what? You've seen 2 of them. I've seen only 1. So it's a lot of work for us to get through. But
City of God, though.
City of God number 1 for a reason, isn't it? It's just
there's nothing like it.
I said in the last episode we did that I love movies that do like time skips. Like City of God. I said about Moonlight as well. There's a nice time. Didn't see it yet, but there's a nice time skip in that. I don't know why. It's just kind of like you kind of see their and the way they build the stories of like their children, and you can tell the characters through the air without saying their names just by the way they present themselves. Well, it's so good. Like it's just it's so well paced. Everything about it. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
Yeah, I love a good time skip myself.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I was just gonna say that that's kind of the movie that started everything. Like our
really,
group chat,
it's true. Yeah, you know, it is. It is
a talking point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I watched it. I think it was August after I went on Letterboxd, and the reason I watched City of God is because of Letterboxd. Because James told us all to go on Letterboxd. I looked at the top 250 features, and it's like number 11, which is very tough because you know some of the top ones are like Japanese films from the 60s, which I'm sure are fantastic.
But never heard of them though.
I'm not going to have watched them. So anyways, got the City of God, watched it. I had been annoying you for months. I was like, lads, you need to watch this film. And then once we finally set up our group chat and gave each other that homework and we all watched it, it's magical.
It was that one week that like we were all giving each other movies, but you just gave everyone City of God and everyone watched it. And what did everyone give it on Letterboxd?
5.
Every single one of us. Like,
clean sweep.
Yeah.
And that's like, there's not even one 4.5 because people are like, oh, you can't give it a 5. Everyone's like, this is like, there's no irredeemable quality.
Yeah, we have some like stubborn people in that group chat. Like
James, when I saw James give it a 5, I was like, because I was thinking, how can he actually take away from this movie?
There's actually nothing.
You couldn't put it past him.
There's not one scene.
Pull on something.
Yeah.
But it's just every bit of a 5-star. You finish watching that film and it's just like, that was something. I feel like I was transported. I was a vessel in time throughout them 2 hours that lasted. It's just, you rarely get those feelings at the end of the movie.
And the characters, as I said before, they're all just so good. Like, what's your man's name?
Benny.
The most lovable villain you can say ever. But like, he's not a villain, man. He's just a normal guy.
Stole the main character's girl.
Yeah.
And everyone still loves him. And
nice guy.
Lil Z.
What do I call him? LZ or something, isn't it?
Whatever it is, Lil Z, he craziest man, and the actor that portrayed him was fantastic.
Yeah, so good.
Even when he was like at the start of the movie, before like the first time skip, like what age is Lil Z?
Like he's a little kid, like he's younger than the rest of the people in the shots. Like
the stuff he was doing at that age,
it just shows, doesn't it?
Like, and then he carried that throughout the whole movie. That's why he was like the whole
time. Definitely.
The soundtrack was fantastic.
Yeah,
I love the scene. It's Benny's farewell party. Where you see what's his name, the photographer Rocket is narrating, and he's going through. It's like you have every type of crew. You have the religious crew, you've got the groovy crowd, you've got the black crowd, like the sort of that sort of soul music. You've got this crowd, and then Lil Z, who has never danced in his life, and it just zooms onto Lil Z looking around him all awkward and
paranoid.
It's the first time you see him outside of his comfort zone, and you're like, he's being forced to be normal here. And you seen what happened then in the next scene. We don't want to spoil it, but if there's any movie you're going to watch from this podcast, it should be City of God number 1.
Put it out to the world door, and everyone wants to see that. Everyone's got to see it.
Everybody needs to see it, yeah.
And then that's in your top 4. And then Shane, one of your best movies in your top 4, Haine. I only watched it there 2 weeks ago because like I don't know why I never watched it before that, but oh man, what a movie!
Yeah, you've seen it as well.
I've of course seen it. Yeah,
the way it's shot, it's just
it's
insane.
Like, I just saw something on your sheet. It was filmed in one day.
Yeah, the whole thing.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that.
No, sorry. It was like the whole.
The whole movie's based on one day.
Based on one.
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. That would have been cool though. It could have been. It could have been because like the hero that was. But
it's starting like in the morning.
It starts in the morning.
It's the last 24. It's the first 24 hours. Yeah.
Everything happens in one thing. But insane. Like when I watched it, there's some shot you were telling me about. You know the mirror.
Yeah.
Like I was like, how good could it be? And I watched it, and I was like, oh, it's so clever. The
And
way
you-
they do it.
Yeah.
the way they do it.
The way
yeah.
they do it is so
Two
clever.
different actors.
Two different actors.
Two different
So
actors,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it to do again?
It's like they're going behind one fella's head,
Mm.
and he's like bald, and he looks the same as Vincent Cassel. And then they just like keep going forward,
And
and then
He's
you're
behind the mirror.
He's
Yeah.
behind the mirror.
Ben's
It looks
up
like a
wash
mirror.
his face,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
And
And
he
when
lets-
And then he
it's-
gets back up.
It's
Pops
so
up.
well done.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then there's just like camera focus.
What was the
on
budget
him.
for that movie? I wonder. It probably wasn't too
No,
high.
I know.
I think it was just
Don't know.
so clever the way they just shot
Yeah.
everything and
In black and white too.
in black and white too. Exactly.
Isn't it just a
And
story
used
of like
to-
friends just
Exactly.
Guys
Just-
being dudes.
just fucking around Paris, like
Yeah.
in the slums,
and then
just-
stumbling across some mad shit like you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like the
Mm.
gun and so good.
And ending in that movie really just ties it up. What was your feeling at the ending of that movie?
Oh, like just how sad it was. Like
Just what was the feeling you got? We talked about how City of God was just like wow.
Yeah.
What was the feeling you got after
Yeah.
Haine?
I don't know. I was like, it is nearly like a life changing movie in a way.
Yeah,
I
it
love
really
the way-
is.
The way you know at the start of the movie, and your man, the black guy, Hugh Bear,
Mhm.
he's narrating over the start of it, and he's saying like, "Oh, so far so good, so far so good," about the story of the man falling off the off the building, and he's like, "But it's not about how
yes, I forgot about
was it
that.
how you fall? It's like how
Yeah,
hard
it's
you
how hard
fall."
it's how you hit the ground or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And then he like once that last scene
Yeah.
happens, he
It all-
starts,
it all
he
comes
starts-
back
yeah, it
around.
comes back
Yeah.
around.
Yes.
So that like really like
But even like I'm gonna spoil it here by saying it, but the scene where like that's not a big shootout, but like everyone gets shot in the
Yeah.
end at the car. It's kind of just like you're watching a movie and like this is so sick, but you're like kind of oh god,
Yeah.
everyone's dead now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just kids basically, and
Yeah,
their whole
yeah,
lives are just
exactly.
changed. You know what I mean?
and it
In
like
one moment.
it ties up the whole
The
thing
whole
because
movie, because
Yeah.
you're like, that's why.
Yeah.
it's-
That's why the
Yeah.
timer was
Mhm.
going every so often,
Yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
blah,
because like the whole movie is about police brutality, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
who kills him at the end.
That was in the
is
90s, wasn't it?
95.
95, yeah.
Mm.
And we know the French love a protest.
Yeah.
We really do.
Mm.
So yeah, we've hit 2 French movies. We've hit Korea. Let's go back to Japan for a second. So obviously I watched Grave of the Fireflies, Spirited Away.
I haven't seen it. And I've
You've
been meaning
seen that?
It's on Netflix now too, isn't it?
Is
I just
it?
haven't got around to seeing it. And I think I'd love it too because it's like my kind of like easy
Mm.
watch.
What did you think of it, Sean? Or Shane?
It was interesting. It's very like same as like all the anime ones. Really,
Mm.
it's just very like very random. There's
It
a
is
lot of
goofy.
like,
It's
yeah,
got a little,
mm.
different quirky elements
Yeah,
to
I
it.
suppose it's very
It's-
like magical and
Mm.
What's the premise without giving it away to me right now? Like what's the story?
It's a little bit
narrative?
Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
like goes into a cave or something.
they would go down a tunnel
yeah,
and they stumble upon this like kind of
and then
Almost
there's a different
Narnia-esque nearly.
sort of yeah. And but the ending's really nice. There's something about
Mm.
when she comes back out, and you're like, oof,
Yeah.
she's a changed person.
Mm.
I'm a bit changed now. I'm
Yeah.
changing for
Yeah.
her, like
yeah.
Now, when it comes to anime, I'm sure we'll do an episode on
Definitely,
anime in the future, especially because we've watched quite a bit.
Mhm.
Shane, you've got a bit of catching up
yeah,
to
I do
do, I
have to
think
catch
there.
up, definitely.
But things like Attack on Titan, like the last 2 movies
Yeah.
that finished that off,
Yeah.
some of the best pieces of anything I've ever watched ever.
People always put it down because it's anime, but like the story.
But who that's watched it puts it down?
Nobody does. That's
No,
the issue. It's
yeah.
just like a stereotype. I suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're like, oh, it's anime. It's shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's amazing.
There's a lot of people that have only watched that as their only anime. Just speaking, like James has watched it.
Mhm.
We've seen some people in work, like Colin has watched it, Adam's watched it, Patty Hernandez has watched it. A few others have
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
it. It's just Shane, if
Yeah.
you're going to watch a series,
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. Now, would you say it's a good beginner anime? I don't know.
It's not bad though. Like I think you'd appreciate it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're very open minded them sort of things.
Yeah.
You could actually go in with an open mind and you
Yeah.
enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
but,
think you would love it. Now,
yeah.
the episodes are only 20 minutes long, but there's
Mm.
88 of them,
Yeah.
and then there's 2 movies, and them 2 movies, what we're talking about, are just
Yeah.
if you could you watch the end and then go back? I know it spoils everything because it's one of those
No,
that
I don't think so.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
the,
I wouldn't
the,
be- I
the
wouldn't be.
fourth season, it's fourth, the last is fourth, isn't it? It's so different to the rest. Of the
and
show.
it's better, so
It's-
much
yeah.
better. It
But I have I love the first 3. I have such a soft spot for
Yeah.
them because they're because I saw them 3 in the first.
Mm.
Sorry, I saw them 3 together before season 4 came out, and then I watched 4 week by week.
Yeah.
So it was I just binged it in one.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
So
anyways,
good, though.
fantastic. Let's move away from Japan and go to not Spain but Latin America and Spanish speaking movies.
This is your forte right now.
Well, so basically, I was in Mexico. Obviously, if nobody knows about that, I was in Mexico for a while, and I was mad in the Spanish-speaking buzz then for a while, and I was thinking about Duolingo for a good bit. I've stopped it, but new year, new me, and we'll
Yeah.
back to it now soon.
Cool.
After I got back from Spain, Darren had told me about the Motorcycle Diaries, which is Gael Garcia. All these movies I've watched are Mexican. They're not Spanish. They're Mexican.
Yeah.
Gael Garcia plays Che Guevara. It's about him traveling through South America on a bike. Him and his friend, which obviously really happened. Before he became the Che Guevara we know. He did this sort of where he traveled around. That's where he really seen the world. That's what opened his mind. He was only 22, I think, when he left. Wow. That's what opened his mind to become the person he became, was living with these other people that literally live in a mountain.
And living experiences.
And meeting all different types of people, and the generosity and the hospitality of. That's what made him become who he is. And I thought it was a very interesting movie. But then I watched another one, also Gael Garcia, that you boys have also watched, both of you.
I think so.
Y tu mamá también?
Yeah.
You haven't watched that one?
No.
Okay. Sean, what do you think of it?
I loved it.
I thought
it was so good. I didn't know what to expect because you were like, watch the movie. I watched I watched it on the train, and this is not a spoiler, but there's so much sex in it. And I was like, oh god, fun. And I brightened it straight down in the corner like this. I was like, Jesus Christ, but class stuff.
I looked it up. It's like coming of age.
It is coming of age. But it's like it's not sex. Yeah, it's not sex for the sake of sex either.
No.
It like progresses the story. You know what I mean? So it's really good. There's a lot of good scenes, like with the two lads and the lady. Sorry, that's not a spoiler, but. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
I wouldn't say it's your typical coming of age.
No.
When I think of coming of age, I think of a younger coming of age. I think
it's more teenage, it's more adolescent.
Yeah, it's more like they've just gone on a mind-opening experience.
Yeah,
sort of thing like that.
It's like naivety to adultery. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's good though. It's really good. It's definitely worth a watch.
So you should give it a watch, Shane. It's interesting, and it really reminded me of Mexico because all the little restaurants that would sit in look just like the ones with the plastic seats and the Pepsi table, and even they mentioned a few of the places that I was in, and so it really strung my heartstrings.
And you were saying one of the actors is in like most like Mexican movies.
Gael Garcia, that's what I was on about. So he played Che Guevara in the Mozart Diaries. Another one. Would I say it's the best of the three? Amores Perros. It means love dogs.
Okay. It sounds nicer in Spanish.
It's one of those. It sounds better in Spanish. It's about it's a weird sort of a Pulp Fiction kind of movie.
Wow. Okay.
So there's like three parts that don't seem to be in any way connected, but are connected, and by the end, everything comes together.
I love that.
So it's got a bit of Pulp Fiction.
Of course, you like that.
Yeah, of course.
Typical Tarantino.
A little bit of Tarantino dashed in there. But so moving on from Spanish speaking, anything you've got there, lads?
You recommended one to me, a Swedish movie, The Seventh Seal. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's a very strange movie.
Okay.
But I'm just open-minded went in, and I was like, this movie's going to be just something different. I'll watch it. And it's quite slow paced, but it's really good.
It's really, really
good. It's
1957 now, but it's very old. Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah. And like the way some of the scenes are shot, so like Death is like he's a character in it. Okay? He's like he's a person, and sometimes just turns up in a shot. He's just like this guy. He's like white face, like a black hood. Yeah. And he's like behind you, like I am Death. Yeah. But like it's very
It's so 1957.
It's very 1957. But
I believe you.
It's very philosophical, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Like it's the whole battle of like the existential crisis of life and death, and like death's always following you, and just appreciate every experience. And
I thought the dialogue was some of the best I've ever heard. It's very Shakespearean.
Yeah, very Shakespearean. Like I'm very much a big guy on like dialogue. Like I like heavy dialogue in movies, and it wasn't even in English. It was translated.
Yeah, that's
really
Shakespearean
really
in Swedish. So just like the way it was translated was obviously they were very well spoken.
Yeah,
and very,
it's really. And you were saying, what's your man's name? Ingmar Bergman. He's like I've like put his like movies into my watch list. Like, so many of them.
Yeah.
One, what were they called? Something strawberry, something. Red Strawberries or Strawberry Fields, maybe.
Strawberry Fields?
No, that's a Beatles song. I don't think
that's the only reason it rang a bell.
I don't know the exact name of it, but like
he does have a lot though.
The guy who's the knight in The Seventh Seal is like in most of his movies. He's like the main guy in a lot of them. But I went down the rabbit hole the other day. He just seems like he's such a good like philosophical director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a huge director. That persona that's supposed to be a big
Autumn Sonata, I've heard of that.
Yeah. This one here, Wild Strawberries.
Wild Strawberries.
And look, they're all like rated so highly.
Wow, and like it's tough to get ratings that high on Letterboxd.
You need to watch it, Aaron, though. It's really good.
The Seventh Seal.
Actually, I saw something the other day. The main actor in it.
Gunnar Bjornstam?
Which is the main one in it?
Death. No. Bengt Ekerot plays Death.
Who's the main guy in it?
This
guy, isn't it?
Top one, sure.
No,
no, this.
Look what he's in.
He's in Shutter Island.
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
No, when I had to look it up, I was like, this guy was in Shutter Island, and he's like an old man. He's like the doctor in it, I think.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't recognize him. He looks so different.
He's in
'Cause
Star
like,
Wars. He's in The Exorcist. He's in Rush Hour 3.
It's like 60 odd years later. He's in these movies. You know what I mean?
He's in a Dune from the 80s.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the
David Lynch.
Clive
David
McLean.
Lynch.
Yeah,
2.8 stars. I didn't realize it was so bad. I wonder how it compares.
I need to watch it though. Just
I feel like just
Yeah.
for the culture. Look, I didn't love the Dennis Villeneuve's.
have you not?
Didn't
Did
love
not.
them. I thought they could have done so much more with what
I actually
they had.
I haven't seen 2 yet. I need to watch 2 before 3 comes out.
And what do you think of 1
I liked 1.
and you?
I didn't see either of them.
Mm.
I heard it's very like Star Wars.
Yeah, it is. It's good world building. I didn't see the second one obviously, but the first one was pretty
So
good.
yeah, so that's one to add to the list. The Seventh Seal,
Seventh
and
Seal,
just
interesting.
Ernest Ingmar Bergman in general.
Yeah, he seems like one of those guys. Like even like what's his name? Is it Stellan Skarsgård, the dad?
Yes,
Is he?
yeah.
Is it Stellan his name?
Stellan, yeah.
He's like one of his biggest inspirations was your man Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just see such a like that family alone has done so much for even
Yeah,
American
yeah,
filmmaking.
yeah.
It just shows that they're trying to they bring a lot of inspiration with them from him.
Yeah. Any other ones you have there, lads?
I have one here at the bottom. I haven't got a chance to see it. I think we should watch it next time. Anatomy of a Fall.
No.
Yeah, I haven't got a
Yes.
chance to see it myself yet.
That
We need
is
to
one
watch it.
I've heard lots about.
Yeah.
Sean, would you be able to fix that for me? I don't
Yeah,
know
I-
how to figure it out.
I don't even know myself.
Anatomy of a Fall. And where's that from again?
It's French, but it's
French.
It's a mix. Like the language in it is a mix of English, German, and French.
Okay.
I think the mother is German and his son and the father is French. So they're kind
Okay.
of speak a mix of languages. But the premise is there's a murder, and the only witness, other than like the person that's been made guilty, they say, is the blind son.
Okay.
So then I assume, I haven't seen it yet, but I assume that how do you tell a narrative about a blind son being a
Is he blind and
witness.
deaf?
Yeah.
no, I don't think he's
No.
deaf. He's just blind. But it's not crazy. Like how can you be a witness? Like
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
witness is witnessing something. He
Yeah.
literally can't witness things because his eyes don't work. So then
Yeah.
how does that work for a trial?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's an interesting premise.
So we haven't watched it either.
No.
Yeah. So I actually that's
It only came out there 2 years ago, I think. And I think Bill Burr made like a whole thing on it as well.
Did he?
The comedian. I saw on YouTube looking him up.
I
and
love
was
Bill
like,
Burr.
yeah, he's so good. So I must watch that after the movie and see what he said about it.
Cool. So
But
we'll
yeah,
add
it's
that one.
definitely-
That sounds like
Definitely
a good
one to watch.
Sean, just on the topic, because we have been getting you to rate movies recently. Today is obviously the day of rating international movies, so we're going to start
Yeah.
with the Seventh Seal.
5. I think it's a 5.
5
Honestly.
stars. Shane, what do you want to pull from next? We'll go Parasite.
Yeah, Parasite, right?
Yeah, we'll just go Parasite. What do you want to rate Parasite?
5 again.
5 stars.
See, I think all the movies I mentioned today, well, maybe, I don't know, Itamama Tambien, maybe a 4.
E2.
It was a good movie, but I don't think it was a 5
Yeah,
star.
I think that's what I gave it as well, was a 4. In fact, I think I gave all of them a 4, all them Spanish-speaking movies.
They're
Itamama
good,
Tambien.
but I just think the other
4.5. Okay, you know what? I went higher with this one.
Yeah, fair.
4. Okay, we 2 more. Shane, what do you want to get?
Go Old Boy.
Old Boy. Okay,
I
what
might
are
already rated that, maybe.
Old
the last
Boy?
time.
What are we giving that one? Shane?
5, definitely.
5.
The
okay.
twist, ugh, man.
Yeah, crazy one.
And anything else?
Actually,
then?
Orman, that's your homework, your first piece of homework, Old Boy.
Old Boy.
You need to
Old
watch
Boy
it.
over the other ones, the Seventh Seal.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, look, it's probably an easier digestible one considering it's not from 1957.
I don't know. I think you might be a bit shook after, to be fair. You know what I mean? I think the Seven Seas like just a chill watch some evening. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so if you're up for a movie, I think Old Boy is the one you want to watch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like get your
Okay.
popcorn ready.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a 5, a 4.5, and a 5 and a 4 and a 5.
And a 5.
Any foreign film that goes below a 4 for you?
To be honest, I pick ones out that I know are going to be
We've
good.
only watched the best. This
Yeah,
is the
that's
thing
the
with
thing,
with
yeah.
foreign
Yeah,
films.
yeah.
Because we don't speak the language, we're naturally only going to watch the
Mhm.
best ones. So it's hard to watch bad.
Which
foreign
is a very superficial way of watching movies, especially for a movie podcast. But
Yeah.
fuck watching a shit movie. Like I'm not going to spend 2.5, 3 hours watching a movie. I know it's going to be shit.
No.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's fair. But I think we'll keep
we should
watching
watch.
anyway.
We should
but-
watch the bad ones together,
But there's
so we can laugh. If it's that bad, we can laugh.
And
at it,
there's
you know what I mean?
some some that are bad. We know they're going to be bad, like Dune, like we just mentioned,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
'84 Dune. But there's
Yeah.
some sort of a context to them and
Yeah.
a reason why we want to see
Yeah,
them.
of course.
Whereas we're not just going to watch a bad film that's beer fest, bad,
Yeah.
just no good,
Yeah.
no redeeming qualities. You want
Well,
something
that's
that.
opinionated, though. We know it's opinionated.
Yeah.
Not for any of us.
So,
but-
some like Beer Fest.
Hey, if you watch Beer Fest, please let us know what it's like in the comments because I don't think I'm going to Shane, you've watched Beer Fest.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it either. I've just heard from you boys.
I spoke about it already, and I don't want to speak about it again.
Okay, it's been
It's
enough.
just been sticking your stomach.
Enough has been said. Right, Shane. Any other movies for Sean we want him to rate?
City of God.
City of God.
I might rate that
I
last
think
time
I
as
did
well.
City Gone last
I think I might have done it last
I
time.
think you probably would have considered. Well, look, no surprises. Yeah.
Yeah, it's done. That's it though, I think.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Haine, you haven't watched it.
I have watched it. I don't know. I might have rated it. I did.
5 stars for
Yeah, because
Haine.
I always rate movies 5
I don't
stars
think I gave that
if I
5
appreciate
stars.
it.
Did I give it 4.5? Yeah, I gave it 4.5. Okay.
What dropped it down for?
I think because some things drop it down. Yeah, James gave it 4.5. Because A, it was black and white. I know you should be able to see through that. B,
You're gonna hate the 7th Seal.
it was like what, an hour and a half long?
Yeah.
Just everything encapsulated that. It seemed a little bit low budget, black and white, very short film. Obviously it was so far from a blockbuster having any actors that I even recognize in it. So maybe that's the only thing that dropped it down to 4.5. Because look, you do have to be very strict with your 5s.
That's very
and
true.
We all do have different opinions. If it's a 4.5, it means
it's still like what, 9 out of 10.
Brilliant, and I will recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
When it stops becoming recommendable is 3.5 for me.
Yeah.
3.5 is it was worth my time. I enjoyed it. Would I recommend it? Maybe.
Yeah.
4 stars, yeah. 4.5, you should watch this film. 5 stars is one of the best things I've seen.
Yeah. I think though you said 4.5 for the fact that it was low budget and all this, whatever. I think that's almost a better thing in my opinion for rating. I think like the fact they could do all they did on, we assume it was a low budget. It could have been like $100 million budget.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't, but like
Yeah.
I think it's more redeemable, you know.
It's very authentic.
It is very authentic.
100%. Yeah. Look, I mean, I still give it a very high rating.
Yeah, exactly. There's you didn't take much away from it, like.
But let's see now. We'll just get one more because I want to do 5 with you, Sean. One more movie that you have not seen. We've rated all the ones that I have in my sheet. I have said I'd brainstorm.
Just words.
Just random words been thrown around. International series. Dark is one that I know one of my friends, our friends Brian Mobile, has been starting recently. German film or German series, supposed to be absolutely brilliant. I watched the first episode years ago and didn't go back to it. Not because not for any particular reason. I don't think I even got through halfway of the first episode. I think I just left or didn't. I know I stopped watching it anyways. Yeah. Didn't go back to it. But it's definitely worth, I think, going back to. Another one is The Matchstick Man, which is Danish. Anyone heard of that?
No, never heard of it.
Series.
Series, I've been told about it. It's supposed to be good. Alice in Borderland. Why do I keep folding up this sheet when I'm not done with it? Alice in Borderland.
I've heard of that before. What is it?
I don't know.
I've heard of it though.
My mom told me that she watched it.
It was on Netflix. I've definitely seen that name somewhere before.
It's possible.
Yeah,
it's possible. That's pretty much it, lads. For international movies, we're going to do an updated version.
We'll be
of
back
this.
with the ones we mentioned. So you need to watch Old Boy. What else do you need to watch?
Old Boy is my homework.
Anatomy of a Fall for everybody.
Anatomy of a Fall. Old Boy specifically for me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Personally, again with the sheet, I would say Intouchables. The first one I watched is such a feel-good film. Untouchable. It might be on Netflix. As I said, it was remade by Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I think I've seen that movie before. I've seen the two of them in a movie together, like in the background.
I think 2018, 2019. It was literally just a remake of this French film.
I need to watch the
French one though.
Yeah, it's better.
I'd assume it's better. I didn't watch the American one.
Fair.
But so I'm gonna say, excuse me, sorry. Ye have both what Shane. Each Mama Tell Me In.
Yeah, but I think Motorcycle Diaries as well. That seems very appealing to me.
You know what? Which appeals the most to you out of the 3 Spanish movies?
We could watch them all.
Amores Perros, yeah, but let's just give one for home.
Okay.
Amores Perros or the Motorcycle Diaries?
I'd probably say the Motorcycle Diaries.
Right, so you go with that. And Motorcycle Diaries as well?
Yeah, I'll go for that.
That's another one, pretty low budget. Gael Garcia, one of my favourite actors now, just because he's in the only 3 Spanish movies
your guy
I've seen.
now.
But he's the main character in all of them.
Yeah.
And
it's the 7th Seal for you as well.
7 Seals.
You have a lot of homework, Oren.
I do. So Old Boy, Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall.
You can watch that.
We'll get to that when we come back to this episode, anyways. And hopefully by the next time we do an international films, we'll have all these watched.
Yeah.
We haven't got a plan for the next episode. We do plan on hitting the Irish films soon. That will be fun.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You will see another change of location, I'd assume, for the next podcast.
We haven't found a home just yet.
We have not found a home. We're going to be the traveling podcast for a little while, which Yeah, it is what it is.
Gotta start
basically.
somewhere.
If you have a spot, anyone, put in the comments. Let us know if you want us to come and film in your house. We will film in your house.
We'll bring biscuits.
We will bring tea bags.
We'll bring everything.
And we'll bring a smile, most important.